Glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Uma from Portland.
Hare Krishna, Uma Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you for joining and giving a beautiful association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Sattva, Shishla Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and all the Sangha Vaishnavas, this is Haridas and Haridas.
Hare Krishna, Krita Sundari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you for joining. All glories to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada, this is Preeti Vilasan Devidasi from Atlanta. Thank you for your warm welcoming, and thank you Anjana Gopika Mataji for the very beautiful recitation of Bhagavad Gita.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasan Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you for joining, giving your beautiful association. All glories to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Thank you, Mataji, for the beautiful Bhagavad Gita recitation. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I would like to start by sharing a quote from Srila Prabhupada ji. Sometimes by association, the great one appears great. In the sun is great heat and light, and by reflecting the greatness of the sun's light, the moon is dead of night, also appears great. Actually, the moon is by nature dark and cold, but in associations with the sun, it has become accepted as great. Letter to Geneva, August 1st, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna devotees, today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji. Prabhuji will be enlightening us on the topic of the sacred vow Margasirsha, session 24. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Haridas Varya Prabhuji. Thank you for giving your valuable time and association this morning. Waiting eagerly to hear from you. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Guru and Garanga ki Jai. I hand over the call to you. Please take over, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shivani Mataji, for that warm welcome. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all the devotees. We welcome you once more to this August Sangha of Bhakti Sangha Japa group, where over quite a lot of weeks, in fact, this is 25th or the 24th session, where we are discussing very sequentially the pastime which happened in the south of India, from Srivilliputturu, which transformed itself as Vrindavan. However, we are talking Srimad Bhagavatam, where we are taking the inspiration, where Andal, in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, she is taking inspiration from the gopis of Vrindavan and following in their footsteps to perform the Katyayani Vrata. Just like the gopis of Vrindavan had intense desire to achieve Krishna as their beloved, Andal and her 5 lakh gopis, they also have the same intent. If the voice is low, let me increase the voice. Just give me a minute. Just a second. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now it should be okay. Is it okay?
Good, Prabhuji. We can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. So with intense desire, even Andal and her 5 lakh gopis, they are also trying their level best with an intense desire in their heart to achieve Krishna as their husband. So we all know the story. But before we mention about today's pastime, as I mentioned in the last class, we introduced the invocatory verse of Tirupavai. And we also had a look why in verse number 19, we are introducing the Mangalacharan Shloka of Tirupavai. In fact, it should be 19 verses before. And we should have sung the Mangalacharan Shloka in every single verse. But we saw the reason why we introduced, because it has got a direct correlation with verse number 19, where the eternal consort, Nappinai or Nagnajiti, she is being mentioned. And she is Kumbha's daughter. And she is mentioned in this invocatory mantra. And when we speak about this verse, initially people might have this question: who is she? What is her reference? Etc. etc. So we have kept this particular verse for the benefit that we can understand this verse in correlation with verse number 19. So today we are going to extensively see the relation between the invocatory verse and also verse number 19. And we are going to discuss the most esoteric parts of Tirupavai. So before that, we would like to offer Mangalacharan as usual. And we would like to take the blessings of all the assembled devotees, acharyas, so that we could understand these esoteric subject matters, or we could at least try to attempt to discuss these subject matters so that it completely eradicates lust in our heart and transforms and blossoms into love, which will make us understand Krishna and his eternal pastimes. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namao Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yet Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So last week we introduced this verse, which is the invocatory verse of Tirupavai. And we mentioned that going ahead, we would every day sing this invocatory verse. In fact, we spent the whole lecture last week explaining this verse, how it came about, how Parashara Bhatta, and this Parashara Bhatta is none other than the son of Puresh, who is one of the favorite disciples of Ramanujacharya, how he gave this verse when he was longing or when he was completely exiled out of Sri Rangam, and he composed this verse with the mood of separation. And we saw about how this verse and what are its backstories. We will not repeat that again. However, we will see the connection with today's verse. So let's go ahead and read the invocatory verse. Nila Tungasthana Tari Padi Suptam Udbhodya Krishnam Pararthyam Stvam Shruti Sadasira Siddham Adhyapayanti Swachishtayam Shadinigalitam Ya Bhalakritya Bhunte Godatasya Namaimedham Bhuya Evastu Bhuyaha. So this beautiful verse, just as a recap, the meaning is Nila. Nila means Nila Devi or Nappinai. Tungasthanagiri, that means on top of her breasts or on top of her chest. Who is sleeping? Krishna is sleeping. And let us recap. Why are we speaking about this pastime of Krishna sleeping on the chest of Nappinai or Nila Devi? Because we all know that the gopis and the 5 lakh gopis and Andal have entered into the bedroom and they have found that there is a separate room and they could feel and they could smell the fragrance from the braid of Napinnai. However, the doors were not opened. Now they are all peeping inside, and while they were peeping inside, they saw that Napinnai was sleeping with a cotton ball in her hand and a flower ball in her hand, and Krishna in the other hand. So they made a plea to make her wake up and open the door so that they could also access Krishna. She stood up, she wanted to go take 2 steps, and she wanted to open the door. At that time, Krishna woke up, pulled her back in, and said, "You are not going. I will go. They were being calling out for me." So Napinnai comes back crashing on the bed because Krishna has pulled her. And now Krishna has woken up and walks towards the door to be opened so that Andal and all the 5 lakh gopis, they can take access to the room. But as Krishna gets up, now it is Napinnai's turn, and now it is Nila Devi's turn. Now what she does is she catches hold of Krishna and she pulls him back. So it's a transcendental competition of who will open the door for Andal and her friends and her gopis. So while this transcendental me first kind of a competition is going on inside, when Krishna was pulled back, Napinnai fell on the bed and Krishna fell on Napinnai. And it is at that moment, this particular verse was imagined by Parashara Bhatta, and he wrote this sloka. So, Nila Tungas Tanagiri Tadipadi Suptamudbhodya Krishnam. So, Krishna is sleeping on the chest of Nila Devi. And this particular scene inside was seen none other than Andal, who gave us what? Pararthyam stam shruti sadasira siddham adhyapayanti. In fact, standing outside and peeking through the window, she actually educated the divine couple. She did not speak about Pararthyam. Pararthyam means how we are servant of the servants, how the Jivatma is constantly the servant of the Lord and is a part and parcel of the Lord. In fact, the entire Tirupavai, she mentions about this particular pastime, how we are supposed to time and time again glorify the Lord, take his holy names, and always serve the Lord so that we ultimately become his servant. And this entire concept was not recited by Andal. In fact, in verse number 19, which we are going to see today, she will be educating this to none other than Nila Devi and Krishna. So she did not become an adhyayi. Adhyayi means one who studies. She became adhyapayanti. That means she became a teacher even to the divine couple, saying that what is the ultimate goal of life? She taught to others. So Parashar Bhatta is saying such an Andal, by teaching, she achieved none other than Lord himself. Because ultimately we will see what happens to Andal, whether she achieves her goal or not. And hence Parashara Bhatta is actually thinking about this and saying, if Andal has achieved it, maybe I will also get entry into Sri Rangam because the king has banished me. So in this way, he says, Socheshtayam Shaji Nigalidam Ya Bhalakritya Bhunkte. So I would like to, none other than pay repeated obeisances to whom Godatasya Namaimaidam Bhuya Evastu Bhuyaha. So I would like to pay my repeated obeisances. I would like to put my millions and millions of obeisances to none other than Goda, who is none other than Andal. And in this way, she says that she is the one who mediated for all of us to approach the Lord. So this was the mandatory verse, and this was the invocatory verse, which we said that we will be reciting going forward for all the verses. In fact, when you, the audience, the devotees, whenever you pick up Tirupavai, you can start, now that you know the meaning of the verse, you can start narrating them from the first verse itself, whenever you are trying to recite Tirupavai. That said, we mentioned how this is going to be related to today's verse. Today's verse is verse number 19. And verse number 19 is none other than the verse which is also again glorifying Napinnai and also showcasing that how she has to be very merciful unto us. Without her mercy, we cannot achieve Krishna. So this is very nicely showcased by Andal, and the verse is right in front of you. Again, I would like to remind, it is very important that we visualize. We visualize these pastimes. We have visualized that how she got up, Andal got up, and she also called for action of all the 5 lakh gopis. She mentioned that what are the do's and the don'ts. She wanted to achieve Krishna as her husband. So was the goal for all the 5 lakh gopis. They went to each and every house of the gopi who was fast asleep. They didn't want to leave one gopi behind. They woke up all the 10 leader gopis, so that 5 lakh gopis have now assembled. They wanted to go towards Yamuna, but they saw that the elders' order that Krishna should be the security guard. Krishna was missing. He has not woken up. So they took a detour. Rather than going to Yamuna, they took the route to Nanda Bhavan. They were stopped by the gatekeeper of Nanda Bhavan. They requested the Nanda Bhavan gatekeeper to let them inside. And once the gatekeeper let them inside, the doorkeeper outside Nanda Baba's bedroom was standing there. He did not let them inside. They requested him to be let them inside. Doorkeeper opened the door. All the 5 lakh gopis entered the bedroom. They saw in different beds Nand Maharaj, Yashoda Maiya, Krishna, and Balaram sleeping. They woke up Nand Maharaj, glorified Nand Maharaj. They woke up Yashoda Maiya. They glorified Yashoda Maiya. They woke up, tried to wake up Krishna. Krishna did not wake up. They woke up Balaram, and glorified Balaram. When they were thinking that why Krishna has not woken up, they saw very clearly that there was also Nappinai sleeping there, whom out of their excitement they had forgotten to wake her up. Now, immediately in verse number 18, we saw that there was a separate room where now there is Krishna, who in his adult form, he is not the baby Krishna whom they were trying to wake up. Now he is a youthful boy, and he is married to a youthful lady, Napunai, and they both are in a separate room. We saw extensively how that room came about, how Krishna, the baby Krishna, became a youthful Krishna. All of this we have seen before. And now they wanted access into the room, and the room was still closed. Now they are all peeking through the window and trying to see what's happening inside. And while they were doing the transcendental competition of me first, who will open the door first, now both of them have crashed on top of each other and they are on the bed. And that is when Andal and all the gopis, they are seeing through the window. And they are reciting this particular verse by Andal. Kuttu vilakkariya kottukkal kattil mel mettanna panja shayanattil meleri kottalar punguzhal nappinnai kongai mel vaittu kidanda malar marba vaithiravai மைத்தனன் கண்ணினாய் நீயுண்மனானலை எத்தனை போதும் துயிலேய ஓட்டைக்கான் எத்தனை ஏலும் பிறவிட்டகில்லையால் தத்துவம் அன்னு தகவேலோர் எம்பாவாய். A bit difficult in terms of words when you see all the other verses. The verses used in this particular verse is a bit difficult to pronounce. However, the meaning of this verse is directly related to the invocatory verse. Let us look at each and every single line and let us try to understand what is happening in this pastime. So, what's the verse meaning? The verse's meaning is very simple. What is that they are seeing? They are seeing a bed, a very beautiful bed. And I would like to show you that bed. I hope you can all see can you all see the photo? Yes. If you see this, can someone describe what are the things that you can see in both the photos? What is that it stands out?
Krishna is, putting his hand on the mouth of
Napinai.
Yeah.
What does that indicate?
That don't speak or don't scream, kind of.
Don't speak, don't scream. Definitely not feeding her, correct?
Yes.
So definitely don't speak. Okay. What else can you see in the picture? I'll first zoom the first picture. Yes.
The
Gopis are peeping from the window, Prabhuji. Gopis
Window
are
is
peeping.
beautiful. Somebody else was speaking behind. Yes, go ahead.
Trying to pacify it.
Trying to pacify. Okay, very good. What else do you see? Window is there. Krishna is trying to pacify or not allow Nappinai to speak. What else do you see in the picture?
the lamps burning around the beautiful bed and all that is described in all those verses, the soft bed and the foam sheets and beautiful bed.
Okay. Okay, so there are a lot of lamps which are glowing around, and you can see in the second picture here that all the girls are seeing through the window what's happening, and it's a transcendental competition which is going me first, me first. And what can we speak about the bed? The bed looks absolutely exquisite. And the bed, however, the artist here has shown a bed where Krishna and Nappinai can sleep very peacefully. But let us see what Andal is mentioning about the bed. So what she is saying is, Kotukkal Kattil Mel. That means she's saying, let me first talk about the bed which I am seeing there. Krishna and Nappinai, which I will talk about them later. But first I want to describe the bed. How is this bed? This bed is so soft and mettanna panjashayanathil meleri. But before I talk about the bed, I will have to speak about how can I see this bed. I am able to see this bed because everywhere there are beautiful lamps which are lit. And through these lamps, Nappinai, you are seeing the beauty of Krishna. Every single ray of light which is coming from these lamps, they are very, very faint when I look at the resplendent face of the Lord, Krishna. His face is absolutely resplendent, beautiful, bright, shining, and they just add more shine to these lamps. So the lamps become beautiful when the Supreme Lord himself is effulgent, bright, and resplendent in front of all of us. So we are very happy that there are lamps glowing around. At least it is giving us a vision inside the room what is happening. And all these lamps are in and around that cot or that bed or that bedstead which is out there. And they would like to describe about this bedstead as well. They are saying this bedstead has got ivory legs. Now, where did ivory come from? Vrindavan. Now, anybody can understand where does ivory come from? Generally, ivory is sourced from
Elephants.
elephants. Elephant teeth is ivory. Some rhino's horn is considered also ivory, but primary source is elephant. And it is said that the legs of these cot or this particular bedstead is made of ivory. So where did Nanda Maharaj or Krishna get ivory? What are the occasions in Srimad Bhagavatam where Krishna came in touch with ivory? Any idea?
Kaivalya Pid, that's the only thing I can think.
Kovalya Pitha. Yes,
Kovalya Pitha,
Kaivalya
yes.
Pitha or Kovalya Pitha. This is which elephant? Which elephant is this? Where it comes?
In Mathura,
In Mathura. When it comes?
when Krishna and Balram they enter the arena or the
When
town.
Krishna and Balram enter
Enter the
the
town.
arena, enter Mathura, and they are on their way to kill Kamsa, and then they see this Kuvalya Pitha. Where are gopis interacting with Krishna before this pastime or after this pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam?
Before.
So here, how is it possible? So here the gopis are talking about a bedstead which is made of the Kuvalya Pitha's ivory. But this pastime happened later, right? When he went to Mathura. So how is this possible? So this is one question we will all have from a logical bent of mind. However, the devotees and the acharyas mention very wonderfully that Krishna's one of the names is called as Satya Sankalpa. So if he does a sankalpa, it already happens now what is going to happen in the future. And there is a very beautiful example which is given. And what is this example that is given? Many of the acharyas mention this example. When Dushasana started disrobing Draupadi, and when he kept a hand on Draupadi, Krishna had completely heard the pleas of Draupadi. And when she said that, Achyuta, please save me, I surrender unto you, Krishna immediately provided millions and millions of saris. So then this question came into the mind of the devotees, that how did Krishna source so many threads? Of course, Harisuri has a different meaning, where he mentions, once our Haripashad Prabhu mentioned about the cook's example in his lecture, that how Harisuri mentions that when Yashomati Maiya wanted to actually bind Damodar, she used so many threads, and Krishna kept some of them in stock because he thought that I will use this in the future. So this was one of Harisuri's way of realization of how Krishna utilized the threads which he collected from the dhama, from the rope of Mother Yashoda. But there is another way also, and another poet who also mentions a different take on this. He mentions that the minute the Kauravas kept the hand on Draupadi, a very chaste lady, and tried to disrobe her in the assembly, then Krishna took the Mangal Sutras of all the Kaurava ladies, then and there, took the threads, made it a sari, and gave it to Draupadi. What does that indicate? It indicates that the Kauravas have started losing their life then and there, and their wives have become widows. But Prabhuji, after this disrobing, 13 years passed by, then the Shanti Prastav happened, then the Kurukshetra Yuddha happened, then only Kauravas lost their lives when the Mangal Sutras in the neck of these Kaurava Patnis, they lost their Mangal Sutra. But you are talking about this 13 years before, when the disrobing act is going to happen. This is Krishna. He is Satya Sankalpa. He unofficially, he took the threads. Officially, he did this pastime 13 years later. So this is how Acharyas explain that with Krishna wishes, time is not a factor. He is above time. He is above Kala. So time is not a factor which is affecting him. And this is what he mentions in the Bhagavad Gita shloka as well. Evati tattvataha tyaktva deham punar janma naiti mameti so Arjuna. So this is the tattva that time doesn't affect Krishna. He is above time. So when he is born, he is called as Devaki Nandan. When he is born, he is called as Yashoda Nandan. When he is born, he is also called as Girivaradhari. Though these activities or these pastimes are happening later in time, but in some part of the world, in some heart of the devotee, this pastime is already taking place. So this is eternal and continuous. So one who understands that this is the Janma Karma Chame Divyam, the activities of Krishna is very, very transcendental and very wonderful. And one who understands this as the Tattva, that person is certainly to go back home, back to Godhead. So in that way, Krishna is Satya Sankalpa. Once he sankalpas, once he makes a sankalpa that this has to happen, it happens then and there as truth. So my dear devotees, using that logic, Krishna had already thought that I need a very nice cot to sleep with Napinnai, and he knows that Kuvalya Pitha in Mathura has these ivory tusks. He has already established it. And this bedstead is made of these ivory legs of this Kuvalya Pitha. Later, when he goes to Mathura, he kills Kuvalya Pitha as well. So this is how Acharyas explain that how this bedstead came with this ivory legs. So let us come back to Andal. She's seeing beautiful lamps. She's seeing this bedstead, which has these elephant legs of made in ivory. And on top of that, there is this beautiful, soft, 5 quality mattress. Now, we talked about these 5 qualities of mattress. What are the 5 qualities that a mattress should have? Any mattress should have these 5 qualities. What are those? A bedstead and the mattress should be beautiful to look at. That is why you should arrange them with bolsters, nice cushions, and it should be very beautiful to look at, that people, when they see the bedstead or when they see the mattress, they feel like taking rest. Not only that, it should have coolness. Panchashayanam. So it should have 5 qualities. So a good mattress means beautiful. A good mattress means it should be cool. It should not give heat, so that when you have coolness in the mattress, then the person who sleeps on it falls asleep quickly and gets complete rest. Third, we spoke about the quality of the mattress it should be soft. It should not be hard. It should be soft. But Prabhuji, here already she says a soft mattress. So why, if the mattress itself is supposed to be soft, why is Andal specifically mentioning about softness before mentioning the mattress? So this is like a double intention of softness. Why is that? Because here she says, Mettanna Panjashayanatil. Mettanna means soft. Panchashayana means the 5 qualities of the mattress. So one of the qualities is softness. So she is actually using 2 times softness. Why? Because Krishna is more softer than the softest of mattress in Vrindavan. Because Krishna's skin is so soft, so wonderfully soft, that when his lotus feet, and he stands on the lotus pedestal of the petals of the lotus, his lotus feet become red in color. And we mentioned about how there was a transcendental competition once between the lotus petal and the lotus feet of the Lord. What was the competition? The competition was to find out who is more softer. Is Krishna's lotus feet softer, or the lotus petals are softer? Then Krishna asked, what is the victor? Whoever gains victory, what is he supposed to do? What is the prize? Then the lotus petal said that whoever wins, they have to carry him on their head. Krishna said, fine. And when they actually tested it out, we all know who became more victorious. It was none other than Krishna's lotus feet. And that is why we see that Krishna is always standing on the lotus pedestal. Why? Because the lotus petals have accepted defeat in terms of softness. And they have said, I keep the victor, who is none other than the Lord's lotus feet, on top of my head always. So much so that Padmahasthi, one who always resides in the lotus, Mother Lakshmi, she is the one touching and massaging the lotus feet of Krishna. And even by her touch, who is more softer than the lotus, and by her touch also, Krishna's feet becomes reddish in color, because Krishna is so sensitive, even to the most softest of things. This does not mean that he is very weak. As Srila Prabhupada mentions, he is as soft as a flower, and he is as hard as a thunderbolt. So Krishna, he can be very, very soft. So Andal here she is saying, because Krishna is so soft, let me use 2 times the word softness. One, in the mattress, the softness is already there, but I would like to specifically emphasize that this mattress is super duper soft. And why is that super duper soft? Because Krishna has to lie down on such a mattress. So this is why she says the third quality of the mattress should be super soft in nature. What is the fourth quality? The mattress should have a nice fragrance. It should not have a foul smell. It should have nice fragrance. And the fifth quality was that the mattress should be white, or the blankets should be white in color. And why it should be white in color? Because it is a sign of Sattva-guna. It is a sign of mode of goodness. And when white color bed sheets or white color mattresses are utilized, then the sleep is considered to be better. because the inner thoughts are much better. Some acharyas mention that along with this beauty, coolness, whiteness, softness, and fragrance, which are the 5 qualities, they talk about the stuff which are used to make the mattress, like tendrils, like flowers, like cotton fluff, soft wool, and finest of silk, which is utilized. Some others, acharyas mention, no, she is actually talking about the 5 swarupas, that the Paramatma Swarupa, the Jivatma Swarupa, the Upaya, the means to attain the Lord, the Virodhi, which will stand as an obstacle to attain the Lord, and finally the Purushartha, which is to attain how the Lord gives these Swarupas. So, one simple mattress as a story, but these mattresses could mean any of these things. So, she is saying, I could see the lamps, I could see this ivory laden bedsteads, and on top of this soft 5 qualityed mattress. On top of that, who is there? Kottalar Punguril Nappinnai Kongai Mel. You, Krishna, you are sleeping on top of the chest of Nappinnai. But here, one devotee asked this question, why she is mentioning about these lamps? Is it only to see the Lord? In fact, she is saying that, oh, Nappinnai, you have lit the lamps and you are seeing Krishna and you are seeing him face to face. So the lamps are burning, but don't you see, we are also burning. We are standing outside and burning for his darshan. In fact, we are at verse number 19 and we have not seen Krishna even once. But when we think about it, you have been sitting with Krishna, you have been playing with Krishna, you have been victorious against Krishna in the ball game that we played. And then you have got Krishna and you both are playing this transcendental game of who will open the door first. What a great fortune you have, Nappinnai. But we are burning out here, standing outside, and we are also burning like those wicks, and our desires are burning, but we are not being able to be successful to get a desire of seeing you, Krishna. And she says that, where are you, Krishna, lying down? Krishna, you are lying down in none other than, she says that you are lying down on top of Nappinnai's chest. And Krishna, how is it that you are always present there? Of course, you are carrying her as Srivatsa on your chest. But now what we see is that you carry her on her chest, but at the same time, you are sleeping on her chest. In fact, the acharyas mentioned that it was a transcendental moment of the Shringar Rasa, of they both coming together, and all the 5 lakh gopis, they are looking at this particular pastime. Now, one may say, Prabhuji, this is very, 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 very close to the divine couple. Why are we not censoring, or why are we not moving away from speaking such subject matters? In fact, this should be considered as highly esoteric pastimes. And are we capable of listening these pastimes? Or some others might ask, why are these esoteric way of how the divine couple loves each other is being mentioned in the scriptures? So we have to understand that the scriptures mention about these esoteric pastimes between the Lord and their internal energy. And the reason for that is, even those who are having lust in their heart, even those who are attracted by the worldly affairs, when they get to know about such pastimes, they at least start thinking, oh, same, similar, and they will have some interest towards spirituality. How do we know this is true? In my recent visit to Padmanabha Swami temple in Trivandrum, I had the opportunity to see the Raja Gopura. The Gopuram, or this gate, is very beautiful in Padmanabha Swami temple. So it is in Srirangam and many other temples across Chennai and many other places. So when you actually look at the Gopuram, next time you go to a South India temple and you have a look at the Gopuram, please spend some time to look at the various different levels of the Gopuram. Slowly you will see it's a tapering triangle where the base of the Gopuram is wide, And as it goes up, it tapers itself. And on the top, it is comparatively smaller than the base of the Gopuram. And on top of that, there will be Kalashas. Now, if you pay attention to the age-old temples or the Divyadeshams that we see, you will see that there are various different depictions of script from the scriptural pastimes. Somewhere you will see Samudramantan, somewhere you will see the pastimes of Dashavatar. All these are depicted on the Gopurams. However, it was very interesting to see sometimes in the Gopurams, you also see some intimate pastimes being depicted. So many people ask, why are these pastimes which are intimate in nature, they are depicted in such a Raja Gopura, or it is depicted in a Gopura? The answer to that is that meets the eye very, very quickly. For an observer who is at the bottommost level of the ground, when he looks up, the first thing he sees is that. So, in order to say that they are already in that thought process, but to go towards spirituality, maybe that attracts them first, and slowly then they go, when they rise their eyes up and they look up, and when the Gopuram goes right on the top, you will see that there are only pure pastimes of Krishna which is being depicted at those levels. And as you reach on the top, you will see that Goloka, or there is Vaikuntha, or Lakshmi Narayan seated, or Lakshmi Narayan, Narayan lying down, Mother Lakshmi serving him. Those pure Vaikuntha scenes are what you see on the top rungs of the Gopura. Maybe next time we should take some time to just observe how our predecessors, how the architects also in Sanatana Dharma had this thought process that bring the people and elevate their consciousness slowly. They might be lusty right in the beginning, but constant hearing of these pastimes and slowly building up. And when they hear each and every single reasonings given by the acharyas, their consciousness is turned from lust to love. And slowly in this way, they progress towards spirituality. So when you actually go to one other temple, which is in Kumbakonam, you can actually see this pastime on the lower rungs of the Gopura. You actually see on the right side, you will see the same verse which is being mentioned by Andal, where she says that, what am I seeing? I am seeing that Nappinai, you are lying down, and on top of your chest, Krishna is sleeping. And you can see that on the right side of the Gopura. Whereas on the left side of the Gopur, or the left side of the temple Gopuram, you can actually see the reverse, where Krishna is lying down and Nappinai is on top. Because this verse can be read in either way, and they were having this transcendental competition. So even by depictions, how great were the architects that they could depict all these verses in the Gopuram. So sometimes just watching the Gopuram itself is none other than remembering these verses of Tirupavai. This is the richness of South Indian culture. Sometimes my Guru Maharaj, he always mentions that Prabhupada always said, we will conquer by culture. And this culture is so wonderfully there in each and every state and each and every city and each and every village of India, that the culture is so strong and so Krishna conscious that just by reflecting on this culture, one can become very, very spiritual in nature. So here she again mentions, who is sleeping there? It is none other than you, Nappinai. And how do we know it is you? Because you have these beautiful blooming flowers which are decorating your plates or your tresses. How do we know this? Because of this fragrance only we came and started peeping through the window, because this fragrance of these blooming flowers. But again, she is mentioning here, you are wearing these blooming flowers, but we are not wearing any flowers on our braid. Why are they not wearing any flowers on their braid? Anybody remembers? In our 24 lectures, we mentioned about it, why they are not wearing flowers on their hair. What is the reason?
Because they took a vow.
Very correct, Mataji. Thank you so much. She went back right to the second verse. What a wonderful memory. They took a vow that they will not wear flowers. This is their vow. But they are seeing, wow, she is wearing it, but we are not able to wear. But hence they are saying it out of lot of shoka in their hearts. They're saying, oh, Niladevi, you are having, oh, Nappinai, you are having blooming flowers and decorating plates of your tresses. And on whom are you sleeping? You are sometimes sleeping on Krishna, and sometimes Krishna is sleeping on you. We don't have any of these flowers. And when they say it out of so much of love, then what happens? Then immediately Krishna is looking towards them. And when Krishna is looking towards them, she says, Krishna, you are, how are you sleeping? You are Malar Marba. That means your chest is completely blossoming in itself. You are supremely happy. And when Lord is happy, his chest kind of expands itself. How is that? How is that the Lord expands his chest? Once there was an Acharya in southern part of India. He went to Sri Rangam. And we went to Sri Rangam and he said that, oh Lord Ranganath, I am going to compose a poem talking about the glories. Immediately Lord Ranganath asked, are you going to compose this poem on me or somebody else? And the Acharya said, no, I am not going to perform, I am not going to compose this poem on your glories, but in fact, I am going to compose the glories of none other than your consort Lakshmi. And then Ranganath asked, oh, whose glories is greater, her glories or my glories? And the poet said, your glories are very less when I compare to the glories of Mother Lakshmi. And he said, so what should I do? So this Acharya said, you better make 100 times different ornaments for your chest. Now, Ranganath was completely confused. Here he is talking about composing a poem on Lakshmi. But when asked, what should I do? He, instead of asking for blessings, he is telling Ranganath, you better create different golden ornaments for your chest. What is the comparison? He says, when I first mention about the first verse, you will see that how Lakshmi's glories are 100 times greater than your glories. Hearing that, I know your heart, Ranganath. You always want to glorify your eternal consort because you are very attached to her and you love her quite a lot. So when I glorify Mother Lakshmi, you swell in pride and your chest is swelling in pride. And when the chest swells up in pride, the ornaments that you're already wearing, they expand and break. So you better make new ornaments. By the time I say the second verse, again it will swell. And again the second ornament will break. Like that, he said 100 different verses and he said, you better make 100 different ornaments. Malar Marbha, that means his chest, and he is having a blossoming. They say in the olden English literature, they used to say a broad bosom. You are my bosom friend. So the Krishna has this broad chest, and with that he is lying down on top of Napinai. But the doors are still not open. The access is not given. And they both are fighting for me first, but nobody is opening the door. At that time, Andal says, forget about the door. At least, Krishna, why don't you open your mouth? Why, Tiravai? Forget about opening the door. Krishna, at least can you speak something? And that is why Krishna is also closing the mouth of Napinai, saying, don't tell them we are here. And Krishna is also not speaking. So they are playing a hush-hush game. But Andal is seeing through the window and she's saying, Krishna, at least speak some words. At least say, Ma Suchaha. Do not fear. I'll give you darshan. Everything will be all right. You're not even speaking a word. Why is this like this? You can't torture us like this. Please, please, please open the door. Krishna says, now I cannot stop. Now I have to get up and I have to open the door. And when he immediately tries to get up, what does Nappinai do? She acts like the perfect wife. She doesn't speak a word because she has been stopped to speak. But she doesn't speak a word. She shows her eyes. And she shows her fierce eyes and tells Krishna, stop. You are not opening the door. And we all know in Grihastha Rasa that when the woman shows her eyes and with her eyes, she shows the anger, that you are not opening the door, then what the husbands will do. So Krishna also has stopped and he is not opening the door. At that time, Andal looks at this pastime and is astonished, because she is the one who is supposed to make the Jivatma meet with Paramatma. She is the one who is supposed to take the Jivas and become a perfect lawyer towards Paramatma. She is the one who is supposed to showcase all the good qualities of the Jiva, even though they have 100 bad qualities or million bad qualities. She is the one who is supposed to fight with Krishna and say, take him back or take her back home, back to Godhead. But she is the one now who is stopping Krishna from coming towards the Jivatma. And how does she say? She says that how impressive are your large eyes decorated with collyrium, kajal. In fact, she is sarcastically saying that Nappina, you showed your eyes which are fully with kajal, and you showed those beautiful eyes, and with those eyes you stopped Krishna from opening the door and we getting access. This is something very, very astonishing for us, because your kajal laden eyes are actually merciful glance. When they show mercy, because Lakshmi's glance is very, very merciful. Kamban in Ramayana, he mentions a very beautiful verse that how Hanuman, when he flew back and Rama was looking when Hanuman came back, whether he met Sita or not, he first said, I saw Sita. He did not even say I, he did not say anything else. He said, seen Sita. I have seen Sita. So he used the verb seen first. Now the question is, Rama still had a doubt that the person whom he has met, whether she is Sita, because he could have met somebody else, because he has never met Sita before, and he could have met somebody else, and he could have thought that that is Sita and would have given the ring, got this message back, and he will go all the way, destroy Lanka, and then find out it is not Sita. So how can you confirm that this is the same Sita? So Hanuman understands that Rama has this thought. So he uses the verb further. He says, seen Sita's eyes through my eyes. That means first he says, I have seen. That means his eyes are proper. And he says, I have seen Sita. And how do I know I have seen Sita? Through her eyes. That means Sita's eyes were completely filled with mercy. And that glance of Mother Sita with tears in her eyes, waiting for Lord Ramchandra, looking at those eyes, those merciful eyes of Mother Lakshmi, Hanuman said, I know through those eyes that she is Sita and none other than Sita. What glorifications that you have provided that matches to none other than Mother Sita. And through that way, I know that I have met Sita. So when that is spoken, then all three is confirmed. He has reached, he has seen, she is safe, and now there is a reason to go and attack Lanka. So that is why he embraces Hanuman at that moment. Why am I saying this pastime of Ramayana is that those same eyes are being mentioned here. And Andal is shocked. And she has heard all this pastime for her father. And now she is shocked that those same eyes are the ones which are stopping from opening the door. Now she starts asking questions. Remember Parashara Bhatta's invocatory verse. She is the one who is educating the divine couple about their own activities. She has become an adhyapaka, adhyapayanti. She has started speaking about pararthyam, which is none other than servile worship of none other than the divine couple. So here she is going to mention now all the questions she is going to ask Nappinai, and she is going to put her and on the spot and ask these questions. First question she asks, why is that you are stopping her? Are you stopping him because you think Niyun Manalanai? That means, are you thinking that he is your husband only? Is it that the reason why that you are stopping, thinking that Krishna belongs to you and you only? Think about us. We all want him as husband. And that is the reason why we are doing this vow. But here you are thinking that he is only your husband. Krishna is for everyone. Aham bija param pita. He is for every single living entity. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We have also right towards Krishna. However, if we want to serve you, we will become your maid servants, but please also grant us access towards Krishna. So she asks the first question, is it because that he is the one whom you think that he is your lover alone? Nappinai says, no, that is not the reason. I don't think so. Then they ask the second question to Nappinai. Nappinai, you stopped him from opening the door. Is it because that you absolutely love to see him sleep? The Lord, sometimes when standing, he is very beautiful to look at. When he is in Tribanga, he is beautiful to look at. But he is also known as Suptasya Sriman. That means when he is lying down, when he is like Lord Padmanabha, when he is lying down and on the laps of Balaram while he is tending for the cows, when he lies down on the Vrindavan forest, the lying down posture of Krishna and having a beautiful sleep, even that is very, very beautiful, sometimes even more beautiful than him standing and giving darshan. So the question is being asked, Nappinai, are you actually stopping Krishna because you want to just enjoy the way he is sleeping? Enjoy the way and take this rasa of the way he sleeps, the beauty that he showcases while he's sleeping. Are you trying to enjoy that? Is that the reason you don't want the door to be opened and you want to relish him further? Nappinai says no. Now they ask the last reason. Is it because that you cannot be away from him even for a second? This is absolutely true because Lakshmi cannot stay even for a second without Narayan. She is so attached to her husband that she would love to always serve him and be with him. This is the mood of the devotees. And this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, that even 1 second of distance from the Lord seems like yugas. Yugaitam nimeshena chakshu. So this is the question directly Andal is asking. Is it because you cannot stay away from him even for a second? At the same time, she's intending, did you think about us? You cannot stay away from him even for a second, but we are so away from him. We don't have access towards him. He was going to open the door and you have completely stopped. Nappinai says, no, that is also not the reason. And at this point of time, she has said 3 no's. Nappinai has said that I don't think that he's my lover alone. That is not the reason why I have stopped him. Second, I have not stopped him thinking that I would like to only relish him while he's sleeping and only I should be the one who should relish seeing him sleep. And the way the Lord sleeps is really beautiful. No, that is not the reason, Andal, why I have stopped him. And she has also said no, that it is not because I cannot stay even for a second away from him. Though it is true, but that is not the reason why I have stopped him. So, my dear devotees, this transcendental question now. Why is Lakshmi stopping Krishna? Anybody wants to solve this transcendental conundrum that we have? Lakshmi, who is supposed to make us meet Krishna. It's like Radharani, who is supposed to make us meet with Krishna, is the one stopping Krishna. Why would that be?
Can I attempt, Prabhuji?
Sure.
Prabhuji, that I think, I don't know if I'm correct, but I think that she wants to increase the love by separation.
Okay, very nice. So, one of the jobs of the devotees is to increase the love by separation. Very good answer. Partly correct. Yes. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Can I try? So
Yes.
my guess is she wants to be, she wants the devotee to go through her to Krishna. Like she wants to be the medium. Yeah.
Okay. So she wants to be the conduit to reach Krishna. Okay. Already, please think about visualize the scenario. She's enjoying Krishna. She's with Krishna. And now she is in an almost like an antagonistic position of she's the one who is stopping Krishna. And now, if she exhibits her authority that you have to go through me, imagine the repercussions outside the window. Anyway, let's
Maybe
see
she
others as
wants
well.
Yeah.
maybe she wants to test how much desperate the gopis are.
Who said that?
Kirti Das Sundari Dasi.
You are absolutely right, Mataji. Millions and millions of glories unto you. You have understood the heart of none other than Lakshmi Devi. She is actually doing this just to see how much her husband is going to say, no, I am not going to follow you. I am still going to go and open the door because they are very fond. I am very fond to them and they love me. Or you can say that you don't have access, or Lakshmana won't have access, or Sita won't have access, just like how Lord Ramchandra said, but if somebody falls at my feet, I might leave you, Sita, I might leave you, Lakshmana, I might leave even Dasharatha, even Kausalya, but I won't leave that devotee who says, I am yours. And these are 5 lakh gopis who are standing outside. And if you remember in the 18 secrets of Ramayana, we mentioned one of these as a secret. Lakshmi sometimes tests Krishna, just like you put a plant in a pot and you test whether it is strong or not. You're not plucking the plant out, but you shake the plant a little bit to see whether the roots have become strong or not. So in this way, she is actually stopping Krishna just to see how much he is eager to come and meet the devotees of the Lord. So in this way, this verse, when Andal speaks, this also evokes the emotions in Krishna's heart, whether he is going to speak, whether he is going to stand up, whether he open the door, what is that Nappinai going to do, and what is the overall outlook going to be going forward, because this is in such a tense moment. This is like a standoff which has happened between Andal and Nappinai. Nappinai's intentions, whether they have been understood correctly or not. So if you look at this verse in itself, can somebody guess in what rasa it is? Is it glorification? Is it accusative? Is it despondency? Or is it sadness? Which is the principal rasa, which is what you see? Let me give you certain hints and then this question is back to you. First verse, she says, let us look at this, okay? And you have to guess the rasa. One part of the rasa is they both are enjoying and they are both on top of each other and they are play acting so that they cannot open the door. So Shringar rasa is there. But let's look at the overall rasa of this particular verse. Lamp is burning inside, but our hearts are also burning. We cannot access you. You are on that bed, and that bed is not small. It is quite long. It is quite broad. In fact, that bed is so broad that even 5 lakh gopis can come on it. But you are the only one enjoying Krishna. But we are 5 lakh in nature. Doors are closed for us, but doors are open for you. And you are seeing Krishna face to face. You are on soft bed, but we are standing on each other's leg and trying to peep in. You are sleeping on Krishna, you are sleeping on Nappinai's chest. But we don't even get even a voice coming out of you. The door is closed, so is your voice. Your voice is also complete. Your speech is closed. You are not even speaking to us. There is kajal on your eyes, Nappinai, but we are not wearing kajal. There are flowers on your tresses. We don't have flowers. He's acting as your husband. He's still to become our husband. You cannot see him even for a second to be away, but we have not seen him till now. So this is the comparison which is going on. So now tell me, what's the rasa which is there?
Vipralamba.
Separation. Shoka, Vipralamba, separation. We are separated. Till now, all the verses in Tirupavai were speaking about, come, speak about holy name, this, that, but now they are really calling it out. They are saying that this is separation. And this is in a Shoka Rasa. But even in the Shoka Rasa, the greatness of Andal is that she has placed it in such a way, she has mentioned it in such a way that if you read it from one angle, it is all glorification about the Lord and Nappinai. If you read it from other angle, you see the heart's desperate calling for meeting Krishna. And it is also from another angle, when you actually read between these lines, they also give you the beautiful depiction of how the transcendental divine couple are. It also gives you the undercurrents of what Nappinna is thinking, what Krishna is thinking. But all this Andal understands, but still she makes this beautiful, beautiful composition for all of us, that she is completely calling out in this shokarasa, or this sadness, or this in this mood of separation, that we are not able to access you. So will they access Krishna? Will he get up with this transcendental pastime of testing him? Because this is not a verse where we are showcasing Nappinai in a bad light. By Nappinai saying no, no, and no to all the three questions, she's saying that I am actually increasing the flavor for Krishna to immediately spring up from the bed and go and open the door. So, how do we see this? In one Srimad Bhagavatam reference, in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:32-3, we see this verse. And in fact, I've got this verse in Hindi here. When the gopis saw Krishna had come back to them, then they immediately got up with all the enthusiasm, and because they had love in their eyes, and they all became like a blooming flower. And it was as if in a dead body, the life has come back in. So when they saw Krishna, this is how they felt. And this is also following in the footsteps of the gopis. So, my dear devotees, let's wait for the suspense for verse number 20, which also has an invocatory verse of Tirupavai, which we'll try to see. And in verse 20, we will see that whether Nappinai is merciful or Krishna is merciful. With that, we will come to a conclusion. But I would like to showcase the photographs as we speak. Let's talk about the photographs quickly before we open up for questions or comments. What do we see here? What all things do we see?
Krishna in the lap of Nappinai on the bed.
Nappinai. How is the bed? What's the color of the bed?
It's
Multicolored. Yeah, white, but there's
Multicolored?
multicolored. Yeah.
Multicolored, but on the top, what is the color?
It's white,
Top, it's
pure
white.
white.
Pure white. Very good. And what can you speak about the bed, the cot or the bedstead? The mattress is white in color. Sorry, but the bedstead. What can you speak about the legs?
It's strongly bolted.
Strongly, it looks like ivory is there in them. You can also see the lamp. Andal is asking, and you can see the mood of Andal. It is not smiling out here. You can see the eyes of Lakshmi. It is half closed. She's asking, why are you not showing us the glance? Also showcases about the mercy of Kakasura and how she threw the blade of grass to Lanka, and how she was merciful, and how that mercy is not flowing here today. Oh, this is a top view. As if somebody has taken a drone shot of the whole pastime. Okay, what do we see here?
Krishna's broad chest.
Broad chest, Malar Marbha, very nice. Lotus, which we spoke about. And you can see Andal is also wearing flowers on her tresses. And Krishna is sleeping. And through the window, Andal is looking at it. And then there is a beautiful lamp, which is showcasing. Yes. And
a
the
beautiful
Lord's
pillow also, Prabhuji, with two parrots.
Yes. Yes, very nice. One more, if I can showcase.
But
Yes.
top view, the cot, the mattress is different. It shows that the color is
White,
different.
white in color.
That is white only.
That is a runner.
Okay.
So that's a runner which is there. This one. Very.
Andal is trying to look at Lakshmi, who is not glancing at her.
Here, I think, yes, which is true.
Elephant,
You,
what is it? Stool means like for the cot.
yes.
Yeah,
But
the
Something in the
ivory
middle of
pot. So you can see the elephant.
yogi.
one person at a time. I see that so many people have. Yes, one person at a time. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
See, the ivory is there in the cot.
Sorry.
This is that the ivory, Prabhu?
Yes, you see that the Kuvalya Pita's entire trunk itself is
Yeah, you can
kind
see.
of
Saw that.
made as the bedstead. And you can see
Mandal is
if you zoom in, you can see the acharyas
yes.
are all glorifying as lambs. So if you actually see this, the guru is actually the one who is like taking us out of ignorance. So acharyas are mentioned here. The ivory tusks are mentioned here, and Krishna is sleeping on top of the ivory
Yes.
as well.
And this is
So
Vishnu.
Very
See,
nice.
there's Vishnu
Lord
on
Vishnu.
the.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Lord Vishnu. And you can see the tresses of Andal having these
Yes.
flowers,
Mm.
and you can have peacocks standing there. So, such a
Mm.
beautiful way of depicting all the things that we saw today. Okay, we stop here. So, I hope we could do some justice to verse number 19 with pictures. I thank each and everyone for your participation and interactiveness today. यदत्र स्खलितं किंचित् विद्वांसत् पूरयन्तु तत् यदत्र सौष्ठवं किंचित् तद्गुरोर् एव मे नहि. Thank you very, very much. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions, comments, clarifications, we can discuss.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Haridas Varya Prabhuji. Thank you so much for a very beautiful class, for a beautiful recap, and for the invocation verse in depth with today's verse. Thank you for a very interactive class as usual. And very beautifully you compared and explained the softness and the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna. How like Mahalakshmi massages it and it still is so soft that it turns red. And then you shared about Srila Prabhupada saying that Krishna is soft as a flower but hard as a thunderbolt. Very well. And I really liked how you spoke about the lamp flames in comparison to the gopis, how they were burning in separation from Lord Krishna. Very beautiful, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If you have any questions or realizations, please go ahead and share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. Very wonderful class. Lastly, I was thinking, picture you will scroll up still 2 more pictures or what, but it was just but a very detailed picture, Prabhu. And I was seeing that the feet of the Lord in the first picture, right, as you said in the verse, that it's very soft as a flower. So it was so rose pink in color. So that shows very soft feet of the Lord. So thank you so much for such a detailed explanation for the verse. Very well.
Thank you.
I don't have
Thank
any
you.
questions, but just a glorification of the class. Thank you.
Thank you. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Parima
Yes,
Mataji, please unmute yourself.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Very, very wonderful class, Prabhuji. And the detailed explanation, it everything as if it comes in front of your eyes, you know. It's so detailed. Prabhuji, I also got what I just thought of this, that Andal, yes, there is a lot of Vipralamba, but there is also extreme humility. In spite of being qualified, of course, it's not that the austerity that makes you qualified, but in spite of the all qualifications, she is taking a very, very humble position and praying for the grace and mercy, you know, just setting an example of how the mood of a devotee should be. So that is one of the things that I just thought of. So I thought I can share it.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for sharing. That's a very nice observation in those verses. She always takes a very, very humble position. And yes, thank you, Mataji. It's a very nice observation.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Dandavat
Thank
pranams.
you.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Very,
Krishna,
very
Mataji. Dandavat.
session. Very wonderful session. So nicely, so deeply you explained everything. Very nice, Prabhu. I don't have any question because you explained everything so clearly. But
Yeah.
really, class was excellent, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much for a beautiful, beautiful class that takes us to these pastimes. Very, very grateful for your association, Prabhu. No questions. Thank you so much.
Likewise, Mataji. Thank you for your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I would like to read the messages in the chat that devotees are saying. Uma Mataji saying Hare Krishna. Oh, sorry. Revati Preeti Mataji saying Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dhanwad Pranams. Thank you so much for a beautiful class with so much details. Amrita Radhika Mataji saying excellent class. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
All glories to Prabhupada. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna to devotees. If there are no more questions or realizations, once again I would like to thank His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji for his valuable time and association today, and thank you for an excellent session, Prabhuji, and a very detailed class. Looking forward to next week and your association. I would like to pay my obeisances to His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji and all the assembled devotees. Vancha kalpata rudhyascha kripa sindhu evacha patita nam pavnebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. Ananta koti vaishnavinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Grace
Jai.
Haridas Varya Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you very much.